Hello everyone! Today we are trying to win this endgame with white. We have these two pawns and they are going this direction. So they are one step away from promotion, but as you can see the black rook is currently in control of the 8th rank. But we also have this knight down here, which can be proven useful. So as usual with these, it is one line that wins, and I want you to try to find it. So pause the video, it's white to play and win, and then come back when you want to see the solution. Good luck. Okay, so we obviously can't move any of the pawns yet, and if we move our king somewhere, then black is just gonna get closer to our pawns with its own king, and black will start eating our pawns, and there will be a draw. So we have to move our knight to c4. So knight to c4 check is the first winning move, and here black has two options, either king to a6 or king to b5. If black plays king to b5, then we will have knight to d6 check, king to c6, and here comes the idea, we play knight to e8, shielding the black rook away from the promotion squares. And if black takes either of the pawns, then we will just promote the other one. And this is enough material for white to win with. A queen versus a rook is a win for white. It is a difficult one, but it is a theoretical win. So what happens if black plays king to a6 instead? Here we continue with knight to d6. It defends the pawn, and it also has this idea of knight to e8. So black will, of course, try to not get shielded away. So black will play either rook to b8 or d8. If black plays rook to b8, then we have knight to c8. So now we are shielding the rook away from the d8 square. And this is winning for white. So after knight to c8, we will be able to promote the d-pawn. And if black plays rook to d8, now here we can't play a knight to c8 because black will just take the d7 pawn with a check, and black will take this pawn also. So how can we win this with white? Well, here the only winning move for white is to promote the b pawn, and in fact we have to promote it to queen. If we promote it to anything else, then that is going to be a draw. So just to show you that if we promote the rook, black will just take the pawn, and the knight is pinned, so black will be able to take that one. So this is a draw, rook versus rook. And if we promote to knight, well, that comes with a check. Black will just move the king closer, and yeah, in fact, black can sacrifice the rook for the pawn to force a draw next. And if we promote to a bishop, again, black will just take the d7 pawn, and black will be able to sacrifice the rook for the knight and force a draw. So we have to promote to a queen, and black will gladly take that queen. But now, you see what happened? We have lured the black rook away from d8. So now we can play knight to c8. And this shields the black rook away from d8. And it might seem like now we're easily winning, we will promote in the next move. But black has actually one last trick up its sleeve. Can you see what it is? It is to play rook to b5. And now if we promote to queen, if you're careless and just promote it right away, can you see what black does here? Black will play rook to d5. And this forks the king and queen. Now after we take the rook, can you see what just happened? Black king is stalemated. It has no squares to go to. This is a draw. So after rook to b5, we cannot just promote the pawn right away. And even if you promote a rook to try to get away from the stalemate, a rook versus a rook and knight versus a rook is a draw. This is not winning for white. So the winning move here is, well, the winning idea, first of all, is to take the d5 square away from the black rook. And we can achieve that by either knight to e7 or knight to b6. But only one of those moves are winning. And it's not knight to e7. Because here black can just play rook back to b8. And, well, we will be forced to play knight to c8 again. And black is just going to continue repeating. So knight to e7 is not the winning move. Instead, it is to play knight to b6, because this does two things. First, it takes the d5 square away from the rook, and second, it takes the b8 square away from the black rook. So again, this whole puzzle, we've been using the knight as a shield. And now, after black captures our knight, we will be able to finally promote the pawn to queen, and this is winning for white. So let's go through the variation from the beginning. The first move was play knight to c4 check, and black will play king to a6. That's a longer variation. And after knight to d6, black has rook to d8. Again, this is the longest variation. And we will lure the black rook away by promoting the b-pawn. So we can place our knight on c8 to shield our black rook away from d8. And here black will try with the final trick of rook to b5, hoping that we will just promote to queen and black will force a stalemate. But we will instead play knight to b6 here to take away the d5 square and to stop the black rook from reaching b8. And if black captures the knight in either way, we will just promote. And that's a win. And yeah, if black would try with rook to b1 check here, then we have king to c2. And yeah, again, we will promote and win. So, did you find this whole variation, or did you find some of the sub-variations? Let me know in the comments. Please, no spoilers in the comments though, and show this to any of your friends. See if they can solve it. And let me know what you thought of this puzzle, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.